Hello and welcome to day one of our 5-day Restore Your Core Yoga Challenge. So we'll start off pretty simple today, and then the idea is that we progress through the 5 days. We add on and we build. There are 4 parts to restoring your core that I think are very important. It's a 4-part process. We're going to find it, we're going to release it, strengthen it, and move from it. So I am so happy you're here joining me on this journey. Let's get started. Begin by coming to lie on your back with your knees bent, feet planted on the mat. And take your time, make yourself comfortable here. Maybe a pillow under your head might feel nice, or just a blanket. And let's bring our hands to the sides of our rib cage with the thumbs wrapped behind us. Starting with some breathing. Inhale, feel the rib cage expand out into your hands. And exhale, feel it compress back in as you breathe out. Good, a few more times like that. Inhale, the rib cage expands out. And exhale, it comes back in. Good, now, contrary to popular belief, keep breathing like that. Our core muscles are not just our upper abdominals, right? There's actually more than 20 muscles in the front and back of your body that comprise of your core. And the top of your core is actually your diaphragm. So that's what we're getting into now with the breath. The breath is hugely important. And the bottom is your pelvic floor, so we will visit that as well. So for now, just use your breath, these long, deep breaths, to draw yourself inward, to set aside anything on your mind. Good. And now just adding on just a little bit. As you breathe in, feel everything soften and expand. Your ribs, your belly, maybe even your chest rises. And then on your exhale, feel the lower abdominals, like beneath your belly button, draw in, and feel your pelvic floor lift up. If you don't know how to engage your pelvic floor, it's kind of like doing a Kegel, but less grip. So you want to think less forceful, more of a gentle hugging in and up action. And then let that go with the inhale. Feel everything soften and expand. And exhale, draw in and up gently. Again, breathing in, expand. Exhale, draw in and up. Another way you can think of it is zipping up a pair of too tight pants. And that sometimes helps get the right engagement going on here. And we're setting ourselves up for success for this challenge right now. Inhale and exhale. Okay, adding on to this, go ahead and press your low back flat down on the mat. Not forcefully, it's just like you're gently pressing it down. And then from here, create space under your low back by just rocking forward on your hips. So you should be able to stick your hand under your low back, maybe, and keep the hips grounded. So the hips aren't lifting up. We're just kind of rocking back and forth, forward and back. So press the low back down and then rock up on the hips so you have this space. These are just pelvic tilts. Let's add the breath with it. Inhale as you create the space under your back, lift up. And exhale as you press your low back down gently. Inhale, tilt forward. Exhale, press down. And maybe adding that engagement. Inhale, tilt forward, soften everything. And then exhale, as you press your low back down, draw the pelvic floor in and up and your abdomen in. Good. Again, breathe in. Breathe out, engage. Last time, breathe in. And then breathe out. Let's keep that low back pressed down against the mat. Now lift up one of your knees at a 90-degree angle. It doesn't matter which one. And then make sure your pelvis is stable. We're in that posterior tilt of the pelvis where the back is flat on the mat. And then let's straighten that leg out. So super simple. And then bring it back. Now if you can do this easy peasy with your low back pressed down and your pelvis stable, then you can begin to lower the leg just a little more. But remember, this isn't about force. This is more about core awareness right now. Good, and bring it back, and then extend it out. And if that's too much, you can always keep it lifted. Just back and forth, make sure you're breathing. And then next time the leg extends out, you can point the toe and just circle through the air. Draw a circle in the air, keeping the pelvis stable and breathing in and out your nose. Let's take the circles the other way. And if you start to feel it too much in your hip flexor or thigh, you can bend the knee a little bit. Really focus on this lower abdominal engagement. Good, and then set that foot down, and let's do the other side. Lifting the knee up, pressing the low back down, and then straightening that leg out and back in. You can even connect it with your breath if you like, by breathing in as you bend the knee, breathing out as you straighten. Good, just a few more like that. Next time your leg extends out, let's circle through, keeping the pelvis stable. And then take it the other way. Great, and then let the knee bend and set it down. Beautiful job. From here, let's just hug the knees into our chest and rock side to side. How are we doing so far? And like I said, this will progress over the 5 days. I just want to start us off with a strong foundation. Okay, so keep your feet off the mat and lift your knees into about a 90-degree angle and keep that low back lengthened on the mat. Okay. Now, you can use your hands as feedback on your lower abdominals beneath the belly button, and see if you can draw the belly in just a little bit. We don't want this doming out action. All right. Now, breathe in where you are. Breathe out, tap the left toe down on the mat, or you can do the heel, whatever feels better to you. And then breathe in as you lift it back up. We're going to stick with that same leg, really keeping the low back lengthened down on the mat. Tap the toe down lightly and lift it back up. Good. And just continue like that, keeping that awareness of your lower abdominals engaging. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and switch legs. Tap the other toe down and back up. If you start getting a cramp, you can do whatever feels good here. Heel is fine, the whole foot is fine, whatever works for you. Good, just keep breathing. This is surprisingly challenging. And if you need a little more, you can lengthen the leg out a little more, like take some of the bend out of it. Good. Now, option to either alternate what we just did or try doing both at the same time. Now, what I really want you to focus on is keeping the low back pressed down on the mat. So the minute your low back starts to come up, I want you to stop. So if that's right here, that's fine. Ooh, even I'm shaking here. Bring them back up from that point. But if you have it, go ahead and go all the way down, keeping the low back pressed down, tap, and then bring it back up. It actually requires a lot of control. So breathe in here, breathe out, tap on down, or just go as far as you like, maybe right here, and then bring them back up. And this is a great gauge. So if you revisit this exercise, throughout as you're strengthening your core, you will notice progress by how far you can tap down and keep your low back down. Beautiful. Just do one more wherever you're at. And then let's draw our knees into our chest, give yourself a hug, and rock side to side. A well-deserved hug. And rock back to center, back to stillness, and then draw circles around with your knees, getting some motion into the hips. Take it both directions. And then draw everything into a tiny, tight little ball. Take a breath in and a breath out as you release into a comfortable position, whatever that might be for you today. I invite you to stay for at least a few deep breaths for your Shavasana, your rest. It's very important. And I will see you tomorrow for day 2. Great work.